What is good, you guys? Welcome to another video. I hope you are doing great. Thank you for tuning into another video. I just woke up. I got my cup of coffee, my cat coffee right here. Let me take a sip. That is good. What we are going to do today is show you how to make a melody from scratch and show you how to mix it as well, because I know that's like a crucial part of like making melodies and let it all blend together into one. I just woke up and I was like, I wanted to make a video, so let's get it. I've got like a plug sound loaded up, and I've got the E minor melodic scale loaded up and tempo 148, and let's just come up with like a melody and fire. I kind of like that, so let's record that. Let's lay down some chords underneath this melody. I've got like a piano right here. Okay, that is sounding nice. What I'm going to do is duplicate this and come up with like some extra chords and then add some top notes and just make it super fire. My bad, I didn't stick to the scale because as you can see right here, I'm just going like straight off the scale, but I played it like on the keyboard right here and I think it's nice. So this is what it sounds like. I added a horn from Kontakt for like a counter melody. I'm going to render out every sound before I add the effects. I don't want like the melody to be too busy, and only way you can tell is by adding drums. By the way, if you haven't downloaded the 1K drum kit, it's free, available in the description. Super fire sounds, so definitely check that out. So I got some simple drums going on. What I'm going to add now is some one shots, just to make it like more interesting and just like more diverse, I think. So let's just copy the chords over. So Control C, and then search for like a one shot that fits well with like the other melodies. Sound selection is like really important when it comes to like also mixing your melodies, because you don't want like sounds that don't fit well together. It should like blend all together from like the beginning before like mixing it. I think I like this kind of mallet / bell tone, just like gives extra texture to the melody. I'm going to search for like a couple more sounds and then mix it all together. Okay, so right now the melodies are sounding busy and all over the place, but what I'm going to do is route everything to the mixer and make it all like fit together, blend together, just make it like super smooth. Also, not every sound will play like at the same time. So now let's get into the mixing. What I usually do is single out every sound, or maybe like 2 sounds at the same time, and just like by hearing make it all like work together. I'm going to add a little bit of a reverb to it, just because I wanted to give it like a bit more of a spacey feeling. Make sure that your like reverb is not bleeding out, for example like this. Now it's sounding nice, but when you have like those plucky sounds like going right after each other, you wanna be careful with like the reverb, because sometimes you can like overdo it and then it will just like mess up the sample. For like my plucky sounds, like for example this sound, I like to add delay, that will create like a bit more bounce. So as you can hear, I didn't do a lot to this sound. Let's go over to the piano. I just added some reverb and cut some lows, and I made it a bit wider just to give like the piano more like of a dimension. Just a simple brass. I didn't feel like putting a lot of effects on top of it because it was already sounding good. That's a big thing you need to keep in mind. You don't need to add effects just to add like effects. Sometimes you will just make it worse instead of making it better. So I just left like the horns as it is. I just panned it a bit and cut some lows. The next sound is just a simple like hit. Again, just some reverb and cut some lows and just panned it. I think panning is like a really crucial part of like making melodies, because you don't want like everything to sit in the middle. Usually the vocal is in the middle, the 808 and the kick. If your melodies are also in the middle, it can clash or it can just sound not that good. So you just really want to like experiment with it and maybe add like some filters that make it go left and right. And for the last sound, I added like a run. Like as you can hear, it just go like left and right, and there's already a bit of reverb on it. We don't want everything to play at the same time, so I'm gonna go ahead and structure the melody. I think that is it for the melody. What I'm going to do is render everything out and make it like one big sample. I usually just consolidate everything because I don't want like the melodies to bleed over each other with like the reverb and stuff. I think it's a bit of like extra work, but in my opinion, I just want like everything to be perfect, like it stops right there and not going all the way through. So what I'm doing now is just making sure there are no clicks and pops before I record it into Edison. Okay, so now that I have my sample from Edison, I usually route it to the mixer. I click on the stretch mode because I sometimes play with like the pitch and the BPM. I boost it as well because you don't want it to be too quiet when you send it to other producers. I already got an EQ loaded up and I've cut some lows just for like the 808 to cut through. What I usually do as well is put back on the drum loop and see what pitch I like most. So let's do that. So that is sounding nice. I really like this melody. I think we did a pretty good job with like blending everything together. This was just my like workflow and how I would do it. Of course, every sample and like melody is different. So let me know down below, by the way, who you hear, if this was a beat. So if you enjoyed this, guys, make sure to leave a thumbs up. I hope you learned from this as well. Check out my Instagram, Beats by Skana, and I hope to see you in the next video, guys. Peace.